Sekulow just revealed about Lynch and Clinton has them crying on the floor. American Center for Law and Justice, ACLJ, President Jay Sekulow got on Fox and Friends Wednesday to give some awesome news. The FBI is reopening his Freedom of Information Act request for documents related to Bill Clinton and former Attorney General Lorretta Lynch's infamous Tarmac meeting. The FBI initially said it did not have the requested documents, but now says that records potentially responsive to your request may exist. Sekulow himself doubts that FBI only just discovered new emails, saying in a written statement, "While we appreciate that the FBI has reopened the case file and is now searching for documents responsive to our duly submitted FOIA request from more than a year ago, it stretches the bounds of credulity to suggest that the FBI bureaucracy just discovered that potentially responsive records may exist on its own accord." He also told Fox, "Finding them is one thing, producing them is another. So if they don't produce them, we're prepared to go back to federal court." Jay Sekulow is awesome. This a guy who doesn't quit fighting for what's right. Obama's administration was trying to hide something, and he's ready to sue them. Transparent. The meeting last year, which happened near the end of the FBI investigation into Hillary Clinton's private email server, incensed Republicans at the time. Critics claimed that it was suspicious for the two to meet during the investigation, especially given that just a week later, then FBI Director James Comey declined to recommend charges against Clinton. Bill Clinton and Lynch have always maintained that their meeting was just friendly catching up. Now, thanks to the ACJL, the case is reopened and we might start seeing some answers as to what really happened as more emails become available to the public. Let's take a quick listen.
For Law and Justice, Jay Sekulow joins us right now from Franklin, Tennessee, one of about the prettiest towns in the whole wide world. Jay, good morning to you.
Morning.
Morning.
Hey, good morning, everybody.
Hey, let's talk about this. New developments with the FBI regarding a Freedom of Information request about the Bill Clinton and then Attorney General Lorretta Lynch meeting on the tarmac at Sky Harbor in Phoenix before it all hit the fan. What exactly is going on with looking for the documents?
So here's what happened. We filed a Freedom of Information Act request to both the FBI and the Department of Justice. The FBI came back with a letter last July saying we have no documents relevant to your inquiry. The Department of Justice didn't even respond. And when they didn't respond, we filed a lawsuit in federal court in Washington, D.C., and the court issued an order demanding that the Department of Justice produce documents. They produced those documents just about a week ago, Steve, and in those documents, lo and behold, was communications between the FBI and the Department of Justice. The very documents that the FBI said did not exist were actually produced in the request that we got, the court order we got from the district court judge. Now, it focused on a timeline of what took place inside the Department of Justice as the Lorretta Lynch Bill Clinton meeting was getting public. And I mean, and by the way, the FBI correspondence, the email from the Department of Justice to the FBI included an email to the chief of staff for James Comey, who, remember, when he made his testimony, said he was shocked and outraged at what happened, and that was the reason he went public on the Hillary Clinton matter, as they called it. Well, taking a step further now, after that disclosure came out, it obviously became clear to us that there were documents, in fact, between the FBI and the Department of Justice, and I'm holding in my hand a letter that I received yesterday where, in a rather unprecedented move, the FBI has reopened that FOIA investigation to produce relevant documents to the inquiry that we now know exist. That doesn't happen. And so this was a positive sign. But the biggest issue is not so much what we've gotten so far, which is significant. It shows communication to the Department of Justice and the FBI, Department of Justice, and the White House were all involved in this Clinton-Lynch meeting, how to message and handle it. But there was a 3-page email produced, which they redacted completely. It's 3 blank pages that were the, quote, talking points, and they refused to release those. So we're back in federal court on that document. But Steve, again, and everybody, this was, I'm holding my hands up. I don't do this often as a prop, but I'll just tell you, you don't get many of these in your legal career where the FBI reversed itself on this FOIA request. And a lot of it was because it became public what was going on. Of course, we contacted them and told them, hey, you're telling us there's no documents. We have documents. So you got to, you know, someone's not telling the truth here. Someone's saying,
get caught.
Apparently the FBI was the one. Yeah.
Jay, lawyer to lawyer here, when you receive a request from another lawyer, you have an obligation, the oath that you swore when you became a lawyer, to produce the evidence that is requested. Now, granted, you can redact for attorney-client privilege and things of that nature,
sure,
but this is an out-and-out lie based upon what you just said.
Well, here's what they said. By letter dated October 21st, we advise you that it had located no responsive documents to your inquiry. And then they say, subsequently, the Department of Justice produced documents which communicated that between the FBI and the DOJ. So now we're going back and we're going to find those documents. Now the question is going to be, and this will be the interesting aspect of this, they'll find the documents. Are they going to produce them? Because finding them is one thing, and as you know, getting them produced is another. So we're prepared, if necessary, to go back to federal court. These admissions or these releases are what they call rolling documents. So we're going back to court to get the redacted version. But it's a 3-page blank email, completely redacted except for the names. But it included, here's an interesting note, it included at the time a lawyer named Hegworth, who was in fact the one of the counsel to the a special counsel or senior counsel to Attorney General Lynch. So it was one of her lawyers. Now this matter of investigating the whole situation between Lynch and former President Clinton, as you know, is right now before the Senate Judiciary Committee. Guess who is the deputy counsel to the minority ranking member of the Senate Judiciary Committee? The same lawyer that was involved in the production and the messaging on this meeting. So that presents talking about from a lawyer to lawyer, a real potential, not potential, a real conflict of interest issue, and she shouldn't be involved in the case at all. And frankly, team, it's just this is just the start of this one, and we're finally getting the documents.
This is a lot of new information. Jay, Sekulow, great to have you on this morning.
Thank you, Jay.
Thanks.
Absolutely. Slowly but surely, they are going to get to the bottom of this. And you see, because FBI Director Comey was fired also, that's why they're probably releasing these documents where they said that they didn't have it. Again,